Hey guys, this is Smite for the win, and yes, I am alive. I've actually, I have not been very active on YouTube. Apologize for that. However, I have been pretty active on Reddit. I have actually been animating some Attack on Titan. Actually, the chapters of Attack on Titan. I started with chapter 99, and then I started animating chapter 100 just to kind of work on my art. I felt kind of rusty, and I wanted to improve it, especially since I kind of grew up animating like Naruto, which is pretty simple art and shading and all that kind of stuff. But this is the stuff I've been working on now. I guess I should say spoilers, but the name should probably give you that. This is from chapter 100. 100? Yeah, 100. Yep, so not too much, but this took me about a week to do. Each scene I took as much time. I'm sorry, I don't know. Maybe this is too loud. Yeah, it just took too much. I want to make sure that every scene has the detail of Attack on Titan. I wanted people to think, is this the real thing? Now I'm still working on it. It's not quite there, but one that I'm really happy on is this scene right here and this part right here. I'm pretty proud of myself. Took me a while. I was working on the eye, making sure it's extremely detailed, like the show. All the lines that the animators always put on there, and kind of like the soft shading that you see on here. I noticed that they do that a lot, and this scene right here was another one that I had to. It's another drawing, because this one right here is another. So, and then of course this scene. This scene took a while too. That one was really fun because I kept watching. I kept watching the scene where Reiner. Sorry, getting over sickness. Oh. Kishan? Yeah, I know, but not gonna be doing those parodies anymore. Kishan was asking me about my Naruto parodies and when I'm going to be doing another one. Well, just like most YouTubers, I was trying to do those to kind of make a living, kind of doing my own thing, making comedies, that kind of stuff. But I was doing it myself. So it took a long time to do because I also had a day job. So I just kind of wasn't able to do both. And it got to the point where I kind of needed to choose. And of course, my day job is going to win. I would love to do it again, but I don't see how that's going to happen. Just doing these quick animations when I have free time is kind of going to be the only time I can do it. And thanks, Dead Reviews. I really appreciate it. But yeah, what I am trying, guys, I guess I should probably start animating, is that I'm giving Streamlabs a shot. So it's www.streamlabs.com/Smitin4TW. So if you want to support me that way, that'd be amazing. If I could actually do something with Streamlabs and Patreon, I would definitely want to continue doing like parodies, especially like now that I'm kind of getting better at animating, or at least the art part. I would like to do some parodies of like Attack on Titan, maybe some Dragon Ball Super, because I kind of started doing that. I even wanted to do this one where Jiren was going to fight One Punch Man. It wasn't going to be long. That's one thing, is I'm never going to do Kakashi vs Sasuke again, where it's 18 minutes freaking long, which took a year to make. But maybe something like a minute long, where it's just like really good animation. Hello, Oscar King. Yes, it's been a long time. It's been too long. I've just been busy with life. But I always found time to animate. So right here, what I'm going to be kind of animating as I talk to myself here is chapter 101, this is towards the end. Again, spoilers if you're not caught up with Attack on Titan. This is from the manga. Eren's Titan is attacking peeps. I guess maybe I won't say who, but he's attacking peoples. And this lady is all hurt. So this is basically what I'm going to do. It's going to be a simple scene. But I'm going to concentrate on a couple different factors here. One of them is obviously making sure that his Attack Titan looks just like the show, which is a lot of detail. You kind of want to accent all the muscles, show everything. Also, I'm going to be doing the background, all the rubble here. I'm going to have to paint that. I have to figure out how I'm going to do the background here because the artist didn't do a background. However, that light is not the sun. It's not the moon. It's a spotlight that's kind of on them. So I'm going to have to show maybe some buildings in the back. I'm still not sure how I'm going to do that. I might try some 3D building stuff. That didn't make sense. Some like 3D that I'm going to try to convert into 2D, and I'm going to see how that looks. Hey, Top Dog. I've been working. My day job had me busy. So I kind of stopped animating for a long time. And then recently on Reddit, which I have the same name on Reddit, Smite4TW, I started animating and kind of doing this stuff again for anyone who hasn't been here. I started doing this. This is from chapter 100. It's not very long, but I really wanted to work on the art and the detail. Basically, I still want people to think, wait, is this real? Is this a leak? No, it's just me trolling. So, thanks, Madkist? Appreciate it. And thank you, my green-haired maiden. And let me know if you guys can't hear me very well. Obviously, I can't hear myself talk, so... So right now, as what I always do, which is very unprofessional, I just kind of like to super duper rough see how the animation's gonna look. This actually might be even too much detail from what I'm used to doing. I usually just make like stick figures, but I'm just gonna give this a try. Okay, cool. I'm glad you guys can hear. And Alex, I will show you the way. And again, guys, if you like my work, I just opened up Streamlabs. This is the first time I've ever done it. I've seen a lot of YouTubers and like Twitch people kind of have success on it, so I figured I'd give it a try. You know, just like every artist wants to do and quit their frickin' day job so they can do this instead. That would be so much better. Let's see. Oops. I feel so rusty. Oh shit, did I accidentally... No? Okay. Man, I feel so rusty. There we go. So maybe I should tell you what I'm doing. So I just did the first frame here just really quickly. Let me put the hair as well. The hair doesn't really matter. I always change the hair when I'm like doing the final touch. The hair takes so much time. Worth it, but it takes a lot of time to do. Where is in-game? Again, like, kind of like with everything else that I try to do here. You know, I tried to make it a show, but in order to make it a show that I could actually bring out on like a monthly basis, I needed monetary support, you know, to hire the voice actors and like the audio, and also to support myself. And I just couldn't do it. No one's fault really. I just wasn't getting enough hits, enough exposure for it to happen. So unfortunately, I had to stop. I really like would have continued it because I had a whole story. I've actually talked to my co-writer about what else we could, like basically the first season. But I mean, it's okay. It happens. And who knows what the future has? Maybe one day in the future I'll be able to work on it, but just not right now. Alex is asking, will you ever release another Naruto Shippuden Z? As of right now, no. That really depends on kind of what I do here, to be honest with you. I'm currently doing some freelance stuff, for private clients, but it's definitely not where my heart's at. I'm doing it for that paycheck. So if I could get paid to do that kind of stuff, then I would freaking love to. I would love to bring back Naruto Shippuden Z and in game. Make this like a full-time thing. That would actually that'd be my freaking dream, but easier said than done. And again, I'm putting way more effort into each of these than I probably should be. Usually it should just be a stick figure at first, because if you don't like what you're doing, you're basically just wasting your time. But I don't know, I just kind of feel like doing it. And awesome, I've got 17 people watching. Welcome, everyone. Again, I've been kind of active on Reddit. Sorry if I repeat myself to people that have been here for a while. This is what I've been up to. Just doing Attackontitan stuff, trying to make it look as much like the show as possible. And this is kind of what I'm going to be doing now with this new thing. I've never done Eren's Attackontitan before. He has a lot of detail. Like whenever you see the Attackontitan, or any Titan for that matter, you notice that you can see like their veins. You can see like red and blue veins just barely. And that's one of the things I'm going to have to learn how to do, because I have an idea as to how they did it, but it's a bit of a guess. So it could come out looking like garbage. Maddox, right now I'm using Flash, and then I import it into Photoshop, and from Photoshop I kind of like outline it, make it look like the actual show, and then I also do any backgrounds, paint any backgrounds I need to do, and from there I go into After Effects, and from After Effects I put the background, everything together really. I put in the lighting effects, just everything. How's this even looking? Is this looking like garbage? It's looking all right. Kind of looks like his body's collapsing into itself, so not looking too good there. Let's see. And by the way, I'm using onion skin right now, just in case some of you aren't very familiar with Flash. Onion skin just lets me see like all the frames before and after it. Sorry, that's not onion skin. This is onion skin. There you go. Okay. So again, as the body moves down, this part needs to be moving down with it. So there we go. That's probably going to look a little better. Damn it. There we go. Oh, and I'm using a Cintiq, a Wacom Cintiq 24 HD to animate this. Hey Jay, welcome to the stream. And thanks, Chase. I really appreciate it. Alex says, fair enough. Just want to let you know that series was so well done and hilarious. Hey, man, thank you so much. I really liked it. I really like working on it, especially the voice actors. They're kind of the ones who made it amazing. Like the very ending where the guy's like, "Well, barbecue Sasuke," and the Orochimaru-sama. That was them. They were the ones who just decided to put that there. So it's just them being amazing. Okay, let me see if I can. You know, I think it is an older version of Flash. I haven't gotten the new one. I mean, I haven't, yeah, I haven't gotten the new one. But I don't really need the newest Flash to do this. I'm gonna speed this up a little just to see. I'm gonna give up on the hair because that's what I do. I give up on hair. Yeah. Hey Shadow Realm, welcome to the stream. I've streamed before, but it's never been consistent. I would like to make it consistent, but we'll see how this one goes. Boop, 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 boop. Again, guys, I started doing Streamlabs. So if you want to check it out, www.streamlabs.com/smiting for the win. If you like my stuff and would like to help support me so I could do this more often. I've been animating a lot recently, so I just figured why not just record it. That way I can talk to you guys too. It's definitely more fun. One of the sad things about animation is that it's lonely as fuck. Unless you're in a studio, which I am not. Let's see how this is looking. Okay. And by the way, I will probably end up remaking this like 1,000 times because I just want to make sure this looks good before I commit, you know, the next 10 hours, 15 hours of my life. So this process does take a little while. Oh my god, I can't say your name. I'm sorry. How hype are you for Attack on Titan Season 3? Give me a scale from 1 to 10. Dude, you know, I read the manga, but I skipped that entire scene. Like, the whole, I guess there's, maybe I shouldn't say it, but yeah, I skipped a lot of it. So I actually don't know what's going to happen. I know the end result, but I don't know what's going to happen in between that. So yeah, I'm excited. Can't freaking wait. I think isn't it coming in like, when's it coming out? March, right? Head banging. Ooh. So I just made a oh, July. Cool. And no, I never got into One Piece. So yeah, I made a mistake, which is a good thing I found out now. I've never done this. Like I said, I'm rusty. This is too small. Whoops. It's supposed to be way bigger. I work in a 3200 by 1800 format. Just in case you guys are ever animating and you're wondering maybe why your lines are coming off really pixelated, it's because you're working at a resolution that's too low. My go-to is 3200 by 1800. I might have to increase that soon since 4K is now a thing. Fuck. Well, time to redo all that. Whoops. Good thing I caught it now. Okay, mad exit. I can do that. Mad exits. Yes, next season, I know what's going to happen. LOL, my brother told me. Yeah, man, I have a feeling it's going to be pretty awesome. Damn it, I messed up. You know what? I'm gonna restart these. I didn't like the way they looked anyways. They're garbage. Garbage. I apologize if I destroy your names, but Sunenth asks, "Hey Smite, how do you stay motivated?" Well, after working on my job, I'm just like wiped out and I just want to do something creative. And animation's always been a hobby that I enjoy, kind of a stress reliever. That and going to the gym. So it's like I do my physical thing, going to the gym, and then when I come here, it's time to art it up. But you know, I do lose concentration sometimes. Like as you've seen here, I've basically gone missing for how long now? You know, that's just because life kind of got in the way. I got busy with other shit, and I stopped animating. But seeing like the end result is, you know, that's kind of what keeps me going. I'm always trying to make myself better. And then I'm gonna do the final key down here. So his butt would be lifted a little bit more. His butt would be lifted a little bit more. The key he's bent over, so and then there'd be something like that. Where's the ground? The ground is down here. But hey, that works. Perspective. Gotta keep that going. Yeesh. This is actually harder than usual. What am I listening to? Currently right now I'm listening to The Drunken Peasants. They're pretty fun to listen to when I just want to listen to entertainment stuff. So yeah, a lot of times I listen to music, and I listen to the Attack on Titan soundtrack a lot, which I would probably put on now, but I don't want any copyright nonsense. That's another thing, is whenever I do streams, I usually don't care about copyright, but it's just like, you know, if I'm doing all this, I might as well try to have it stay up. Maddox said, you asked, where did you learn animating, or did you learn it yourself? I learned it myself. I went to school like 10 years ago for film and video, and then I worked at PBS for a year, but I was not a fan of the culture. So I quit. And then I decided that animation was just kind of like always a love of mine. I always loved doing it, or watching it, I should say. And then I would always just like play around with Flash in high school. So I'm like, hey, maybe I can make a career out of it. And then I did a couple of Naruto animations. People loved it, and then people started asking me if I wanted to work on their projects, and they'd pay me for it. It wasn't much, you know. It was like, I'll give you $100 to do 10 minutes worth of animation. But at the time, I was like, holy shit, that's a lot of money. So that's kind of how I got started. It's funny how he's morphing. He's like this lean bro right here, and then he looks like he just gained like 30 pounds of muscle. So yeah, here's a rough. See his butt going up and down like that? Yeah. I'm gonna call you Sunil. That's easier. Sunil, you said you are the main reason why I'm an animation student. Dude, that's fucking amazing. Are you doing traditional animation or 3D? So once I kind of get this done, I'm going to kind of start doing a whole lot of tweaks, you know, making sure that his body is more to scale, which I don't have a scale model of his body, so it's just kind of looking at different videos. Of course, when you're doing animation like this, you want to make sure that when there's impact, that it slows down just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. Oh yeah, I want to save. Don't forget to save. Mad Exit, you said learning yourself is always the best way. You learned editing yourself? Dude, that's awesome. I mean, I think that speaks a lot, you know, like, especially so many of us are pressured to go to school before we really know what we want to do. I know I was. You know, film. So when you're actually doing something because you want to do it, it makes the job so much better. I think it also makes, you know, it just makes you look better for any employers that you might want to work for in the future. So this is at 12 frames per second right now. This actually came out a little bit better than I thought. It's way slower than I thought. And another thing is, I'm probably not going to develop his leg at all. I mean, his foot here, and his leg I'll probably put a little bit more. But as you can see here, there's going to be all this like smoke and debris all over here that's going to be masking it, so I'm not going to bother. And actually, the smoke and stuff is something else that I want to work on. You know, I want this whole scene, every little thing in this scene is going to take some time to do, because I really want it to look like an actual Attack on Titan scene. Do I play video games? I actually used to play a lot of video games with my ex-girlfriend. She was a huge Xbox nerd, so we'd play together. But ever since we broke up, I kind of went back to doing more animations and stuff like that. So, but I used to play StarCraft 2 for Xbox. I played any zombies from Call of Duty. I love those. And the last game I played was, oh my God, I can't remember. Evil Within. Is that what it's called? Evil Within 2. Haven't finished it though. And guys, again, if you like my work, you like to support it, I have 2 links in the description that would really help me. There's Patreon, where you can donate even $1 a month just to help me keep going. I really want to do this. Like, it'd be awesome to do this every day, like stream every day whenever I'm doing work. Maybe even watch some animations, you know, pause it and talk about it, like Dragon Ball Super. Maybe even watch some of my old videos so I can cringe at it. You know, kind of what all these Twitch people and YouTubers are doing. I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm just trying to set up my playlist here for what I'm going to be listening to for the next like 30 minutes. So I'm thinking I'm going to watch the Berholt and Reiner reveal, and then when Eren uses the coordinate. And I'll just put that on repeat because I enjoy doing that for some reason. Yeah. Yeah, 2D animation is definitely underrated. I mean, 3D is amazing in its own way, and if done right, 2D and 3D can look really good together, if done right. But I don't know, I feel like there's a kind of art in 2D that's kind of lost in 3D. Maybe it's just because like you need to know proportions on a perspective. Like right now, I need to know the proportion of how a person looks in this perspective when they're bent over, so you can't see, you know, basically their asses in your face, and you can't see their torso very well or their head, you know. Whereas like 3D, you know, you make the model, I mean, it takes a lot of work, but you know, you put the camera where you want the perspective to be, and it does it for you. I'm going to do one more frame here, kind of slow, to give emphasis on that impact. Because later I'm going to show, you know, some rubble kind of going everywhere. So, and I'm going to make this into kind of a GIF. why the name Smite for the Win? There's no reason really. Okay, there is, but it's really nerdy. When I was in high school, when I was still in film, like I liked film, I made a bad guy, and his name was Smitin'. And for some reason, the name just stuck. At the time, I was like, oh, that's such a cool name. So original. I'll just change the I to a Y. Badass. So I do have a question. What do you guys think if I were to watch different videos and kind of talk about them? I guess more reactions, but I hate saying that. Or is that just too meh? I would only do it live stream though, because I'd want you guys to kind of be there. So 12 frames per second is too low. I'm gonna try 24, but that's probably too fast. Yeah, that was too fast. So 24 is usually the, like what Disney used, 24 frames per second. But I don't go by those rules, so I'm gonna do 20. And usually animes do it 12 frames per second. Or they animate in twos. If you ever heard that, that's what that means. But again, I don't follow them rules. Yeah. Oh, he's rocking. I like that. I don't know if the stream shows it kind of... I don't know if it's choppy or not, but I think that looks good. What do you guys think? Yeah, all names do come from... I mean, mine's just especially cringy. Because I made a movie about it where I played Smitin', and I was like 16. So, as a badass 16-year-old... A badass, chubby 16-year-old. Amazing. So now the question is, he goes down, hits that. So maybe the next keyframe... I'm going to copy this frame. Because I'm trying to think what his next keyframe should be. And I think maybe I'm going to have him on this side, his right arm. I think it's going to come up while the rest of his body's still down, kind of like he's pulling on something. Like he's pulling part of the stage apart or something. Well, yeah. Let me see. Yeah, this part would be coming up, his shoulders coming up, but the rest of his body is kind of still in the same position. Let's see. This is when it gets kind of difficult. This is the fun part, obviously, but this is the part where it's like, how do I anatomy? Yeah. I'm just gonna have him. Let's see, should he be holding a person? Man, a person or just, I don't know. I'm just gonna keep something here. Maybe I'll change it to a person later, but that'd be pretty cold. That up a little bit. I'm not an animator, but it's really nice See, that's the thing is you don't need to be an animator to know this stuff. You know, your eye can let you know basically right away if something looks wrong. I mean, that's why there's critics that aren't filmmakers themselves, you know. Look pretty good. Oops, wrong button. Sanil, you said, I have been animating a lot. Only thing that's troubling is the human anatomy. And whenever I try to learn and whenever the drawing looks out of proportion, I really get demotivated. You know, man, that was honestly my first thing. I sucked at anatomy and it was garbage, and I always just like stopped animating as soon as I saw that it was just the proportions were like slowly just like becoming askew and weird. All I can say is, especially since you're starting up, don't be afraid to just trace. I mean, it's what I did. I first traced my animations. The first animation I have on YouTube, I think it's even entitled My First Animation. It's Pain versus Kakashi. Most of it was traced. So trace, you know, you're gonna start learning proportions that way, especially if you keep doing it over and over. And then after that, try not to trace, you know. Don't feel like you need to start from nothing, you know. Goes down, and then he struggles for a second because he's ripping something off the ground. Again, just to show some force. I'll probably show like his muscles growing a little bit, you know, as... sorry. And then he rips something out here. Will the stream stay on YouTube? Because I'm going now, but I want to watch it later. Yeah, I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm going to leave it up. If you know anyone that might like this kind of stuff or might, you know, like to support me, you know, let them know about this. Again, I'm going to try. Like, I tried a couple years ago to make YouTube a career, but it just, you know, wasn't working. But now they're you know, like Patreon and Streamlabs and all this kind of stuff. It's a lot more possible. So I guess I'm trying again. What is your big dream? Either to work for a big studio, as you know, like a higher up, where I have my own team, or to have my own animation in a major network. Honestly, that I don't need money, like a ton of money or anything. You know, I just want to be happy with what I'm doing. I've worked as a server most of my life, and you know, that's just not where I want to be. So yeah, that would be my dream. It'd be amazing if I could reach that. Okay, let's see how this is looking so far. I'm gonna zoom out a little. Rockin'. You know what? This looks better than I thought it would, honestly. Looks like he's headbanging. But this part here needs to... I need to add some more frames. And again, we're going to go perspective a little bit because his body, this is his back, so this is his spine, right? So his spine is going to go this way as his arm is kind of going towards the camera, because I'm thinking what would be kind of cool is, you know, just to show badassery, I'm gonna have him, it's gonna be rubble, he's gonna throw a piece of rubble with his hand, and it's gonna kind of go flying this way, and then you're gonna see it land over here and just kind of roll off. I think that'd look pretty cool. Just don't focus on ad revenue alone. Diversify your income. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, besides having a... See, here's the thing. I have my day job, which is serving. I also have my freelance, which it depends on the month. Sometimes I have a bunch of clients. Sometimes it's dead. This, you know, Patreon and I guess Streamlabs would be my next one. So, you know, hopefully one will stick. I mean, serving is sticking right now, but that one's like my least favorite one. And then Alex said, as a waiter, I'm a waiter and it's terrible. Dude, God, isn't it? I mean, I like people. I like talking to people. That part's nice. I just don't like to wait on them. Oh, the original Attackontitan theme is playing now in my earbuds. Yeah. Okay, hold on. I'm starting to forget anatomy all of a sudden. So, chest here. Body's that way. That's the shoulder. Piece of rubble, which will probably change later. Head is not important because it'll be filled with hair. Save this mofo. And of course, since he's moving that way, his leg is going to have to kind of move with his body. That's his anus. That's his other arm, still in the same spot. Let's see how that's looking. Since I'm working at 20 frames per second, I'm gonna have to make sure I do more frames for everything, otherwise it just won't look right. So far so good, I think. Yeah. Also, sorry if I sound low energy. I have roommates and they're sleeping right now. Albert, you said, "What is up, Drama Alert Nation? I'm your host, Keller Keemstar. Let's get right into the news." Next time, please make a tutorial on 2D perspective animation with dynamic camera movement and angles. I guess I could try that. I actually feel like that kind of stuff is easier just because you don't need to stay as consistent, which is, I think, why I see a lot more startup animators try to just do like quick fight scenes. Because, like, think of Dragon Ball Z when they're fighting fast. You know, there really didn't have to be too much consistency. It's just like kick, punch, like just a bunch of different movements really quick. And then maybe the camera's moving around with it. But I think stuff like this, where you know, like a walk cycle or someone turning their head, and I think that's where the skills really come in. Albert, I don't know what that means. I don't want to slam. No slam. And again, guys, check out my Streamlabs. You know, check out the links that I put on this stream. If you like my work, want to help support it, so I can do it way more, that would be amazing. I would love to do this more. Animating Dragon Ball Z fights may be very expensive. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, if they actually like showed the fighting, that would be a very expensive anime. I'm actually really liking the way this is looking right now. I came into this like not prepared at all. Like, I'm just gonna turn on the stream, and I was kind of nervous that like this would come out looking like garbage. Back in the early days, I had a lot of people say that I was tracing. They just didn't believe that I animated my own stuff. So I'd like constantly, like, this is before streaming, so I had to like record myself drawing, like animating, like what I'm doing now, so people would be like, "Oh, you actually are doing what you say you're doing." Bernard, you said, "How's the Naruto versus Sasuke animation going?" Oh, it's going great, dude. Yep, it's going great. Totally almost done with that, and haven't stopped working on it for 2 years now. And thanks to Makis. Really appreciate that, man. And again, here we go with perspective again on the rubble. Let's see, this arm is here, so I'm going to put the rubble a little bit more here. And a little foreshortening there. Damn, this guy's ripped. Look at those abs. By the way, thank you everyone for watching right now. I know animation isn't the most fun thing to watch. It's definitely not like a game. But, you know, doing this stuff is a lot more fun when there's people to talk to. But I was thinking maybe I could watch some videos as well. Not in this stream. And maybe I won't make, you know, I'll make the stream specifically for watching videos, but maybe watch like part of a anime, like a Dragon Ball Super, or watch some of my old animations so we could all cringe to it. And again, for those of you that might have not been here, oh shit. Oh, it's gone. Nah, never mind. It's gone. Oh, and I forgot to put his arm. Yeah. If all goes well, I would like to do a stream almost every day. Especially right now, like with this particular scene. I want to do a stream of myself doing every part of this. And this is going to take me a while because of all the different aspects. I mean, I'm going to have to spend some time on her and like her clothes moving. I'm going to have to paint the background. You know, then I'm going to have to put everything together, or the smoke, the debris, I'm going to have to put everything together in After Effects. So, but if you guys do like my work, again, check out the link below to my Streamlabs and Patreon. Anything you give is very appreciated and will allow me to do this more often, which is what I would love to do. There we go. Was it your idea to make Sakura sound like a man? Actually, I voiced Sakura, so So thanks. Please do more live streams. Oh, I will. I know it was 5 months ago. Just tell people about my live stream. Tell people about my Patreon. Tell people about my Streamlabs. I honestly, like, just like any YouTuber, if they're making it successful, they're going to want to continue it. And that's what I would like to do. I would much rather do this than work for clients, working on their nonsense, on stuff that, they want me to work on. I have nothing to do with this. I would love to put together some full animations, like short animations. That's... All right. Sorry about that. Got quiet there. I wanted to make sure this came out right. Also, I'm listening to Reiner and Barrett Holt reveal themselves, and I don't know if you know this, but yeah, they're the Colossal and the Armored Titan. Nani? Yeah. Sunil, you said, I've seen many people even use Photoshop for the 3D animation. What's the difference Oh, what's the difference? I know Flash is vector and Photoshop is pixel. But apart from that, is there any? Is coloring better in Photoshop? Yes. The difference is, for me, you can actually do everything I'm doing right now in Photoshop, but it's a lot easier to do it in Flash. Like this part here, if I wanted to do this in Photoshop, every time I needed to look at a frame before or after, instead of turning on onion skin, I know that there's a way to do this in Flash, but Photoshop, but I actually never learned this part. But the way I did it is I would have to put the opacity, you know, the transparency down of the layers around it so I could see in between, kind of like this. I'd have to put the opacity down for this layer, make sure that I have the current layer selected and work, if that makes sense. With this one, it's just whichever layer I'm on, it automatically goes to it. However, this is the only part I do in Flash. Once I like what the animation looks like, I put it into Photoshop. And from there, I do the final line work, the shading, the coloring, all that. Because Photoshop, for the inking and all that, makes it look like an actual anime. Flash always has that look to it. Like that smoothness. I'm not quite sure how to really describe it. It's just, it looks like a Flash animation. Whereas when you use Photoshop, it does look like a legit anime. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. Look at that saggy butt. How long did you study animating? I didn't study animation. I studied film and video. And after that, I worked for PBS and a couple other places for about 2 years. I just didn't like it. It wasn't what I just didn't enjoy it. So I quit, and then I started learning how to do traditional animation on my own. And yeah, that's about it. The way I learned is I just watched different animes, and I would just slow them down so I can see how they progressed. And then I started doing that with like live action, because obviously you'd probably be a better animator if you learn real movement. It's like when you're learning to draw. When you want to draw a person, you learn to if you want to draw a real person, you learn anatomy correctly. You learn how to draw a person with all the details. And then you start drawing anime and things that are easier to draw. If that makes any sense. All right. And now right here, he's slowing down. I think I'm going to have him kind of wind back with a punch. Saggy butt. Since he's winding back with a punch, I gotta make sure that his leg is also going further back. I'm gonna have to make sure I change that a little bit when I come back to this. I have never watched Code Geass. I've heard about it, but never got into it. Man, it's already been an hour. Wow. Thank you guys for watching. As I said, animation is not the most fun thing to watch, but I still enjoy doing it. Okay, I think one more should be enough to wind back. He's going to wind back to punch, so... And then as he punches, his other arm is going to come up too. And I'm going to see how long the animation is from there. Yeah, time flies when you're having fun. Except I'm really hungry right now. Again, if you guys like this, please subscribe, tell your friends about it. I have some more stuff, like I've just been calling them quick animations that I keep uploading into Reddit. It's the same name, Smite4TW. And I just, you know, there's no sound, but it's just something I like to work on, you know, put as much detail as I can, kind of like what I'm doing here. But I do have some goals. I was thinking on Patreon, well, if I make enough money doing Streamlabs, I won't even bother, but if Patreon gets a certain amount, I was thinking like 200 a month, then I would do like small animations every month with like audio, voice, you know, voice acting of the newest episodes of Shingeki no Kyojin, or Attackontitan. How's that looking? Yeah. go again with the perspective. So something like that. I'm looking at my fist right now to make sure I'm doing this right. Gotta make sure he fists that ground nice and good, you know? Yeah. Sunil, you said, when I wanted to learn traditional 2D animation years before the anime style, I didn't find any helpful videos other than yours. I mean, you were the only one who made these tutorials and videos, the anime style. Hey, thanks, man. I really tried to, I don't know, because it took me a while to figure out some of the stuff that I figured out, like especially with Photoshop and Flash. Like Photoshop at the time was not made for animation, but you could just get the style to look so much better than using Flash only. So I was like determined to make it work. I was also working with KL Fire Tears. I don't know if you guys remember him. It's been a while for him, but he was the other animator. He's the one who did like Bleach animations, and his stuff was amazing. So much, he was so ahead of me, and he was so much younger too. But yeah, I did the best I could to like show people what I learned. So I'm glad that you found use in those, because sometimes I don't know if what I'm saying makes any sense. It might make sense in my head, but then I realized that it was garbage. Let's see. Time to use this frame as reference again. You know, because this is like the only model I have right now of what he's supposed to look like, so. His head isn't even that important, to be honest, where it is. It's just going to be filled with hair. That'd be a nice transition. Let's see how that looks. I'm not sure how I feel about the rubble throw, to be honest with you. I guess it's only one frame where the rubble gets thrown. So I might have to add something here, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, Kale Fire Tears, I think he's working on 3D animation. He's in college now. So, I mean, he's extremely talented, so. How to carry on with the proportion. Well, Well, the best way to do it, and the way that I did not do it, is instead of doing the in-between frames, just like frame by frame by frame by frame, because you're kind of flying blind, which is what I've been doing here. You know, I didn't, in my head, I wasn't thinking, well, first he's going to hit the floor. I mean, I knew that because that's what it shows here. He's obviously like smashing, you know, Hulk smashing the floor. But after he hits the floor, you know, what does he do? I don't know. I was thinking, well, maybe he'll rip some stuff up. But it's like, as soon as I got here, I'm like, well, I guess I'll just have him lift his arm now, you know, and then punch the ground again. So usually you want to do like, here's like, this one would be a keyframe, right? This is a keyframe. And the next keyframe would be like this one. And then you have to do all the in-between frames. And then so that would be another keyframe. So the next keyframe would be like this one. And then again, I'll do all the in-between frames to make it match. So when you kind of have all the keyframes being on model, I mean, you have a character sheet if you're working in the industry to make sure you're not like making him suddenly too fat and stuff like what I'm doing now. He's like getting bulky every time. Like he's so like lean here, then he's like bulks up, but I'll change that. But yeah, that's the main reason. I mean, the main way to do it. Who are your favorite YouTubers to watch? For the longest time I was watching the Drunken Peasants podcast, but they're no longer a thing. I always like The Amazing Atheist just because he's loud and funny. I was gonna make an introduction for him, but that didn't work out. And besides that, who else do I watch? Because Science by Nerdist. I really like that one. I watch random videos that have like Attack on Titan and Dragon Ball Super stuff on it. I also watch a couple of gym videos because I do like going to the gym. It's like, you know, when you're sitting in a computer chair all day long, you have to be active. Otherwise, you're not going to live a long life. So I find that I find the balance in that. And again, guys, if you like my work, I have 2 links in the below to my Streamlabs and my Patreon. Please, if you have even $1, I will gladly take it. That'll help me keep this going for as long as possible. And I would definitely like to keep this going. Because like, one of the things that I like to do, because we were talking earlier about like what I would love to do. I have, right now I'm animating at home. I have a Cintiq 24 HD. However, I also have a portable Wacom Companion 2. So I can go anywhere I want. So I was just thinking it'd be amazing to go to different places and animate and just kind of live stream there. And then maybe have a camera by that point, so I'm not just a voice. The traveling animator. Yeah, that would be awesome. Okay, so I'm trying to think what I'm doing right now. That's why I'm scribbling. So I'm just going to do kind of a rough sketch here. Man, so far I'm at 28 frames. Wow, 28 frames. I mean, I think it looks good so far. It's really fluid, outside of his muscles being a little bit too big in areas. Um, I like the proportions, like, or kind of like the way the body's moving. So, which is funny because I usually like do this a million times before I'm happy with it. Do you know who Attackontitan is? No, I've never heard of him. He does animation as well. Huh. Actually, I'll look him up right now. Let's see. I'm on my phone here, so. Attackontitan. Attackontitan 77077? Maybe? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, he's legit, man. Jesus. Wow. Man, this guy's a pro. My God. What does he use? TVP? His character models are on point. See, that's what's extremely impressive about this. Because his shading, the way that everything moves is incredible. However, it's the model. That's the most difficult thing for me. And what I'm watching right now, which is like the first video I saw, it looks like I'm watching like a production of an anime going on right now. It's really good. Wow. Damn. And his stream is 7 hours long. Oh my God. 7 hours. Fuck. Well, thanks for telling me about him, actually. I'm gonna go ahead and subscribe. Subscribe, yeah. Cool. Yeah, thanks for telling me about him. That's freaking amazing. He's doing 3D animation. I wonder if you mean like he's tracing over his 3D animation to make it to make it 2D, or do you know how to animate Madara? I guess. You're talking about the Naruto character, right? Yeah, Naruto characters are pretty easy to animate. Again, I just need like a character sheet, which I'm pretty sure I could find online, and animate him from there. Double Vendetta says, Chance Cox? Yo, Nick, good to see you alive and animating. Oh, hey. Yes, I am quite alive. I just, take my little breaks every once in a while because life gets in the way, mainly work. Work is still in the way, but I'm every once in a while I come back to YouTube thinking maybe this is the chance. This is the time that I'm going to make it work. I don't think it'll ever happen, but gotta delude myself. Let's see. So I'm want to try something just to kind of get back to this model. It might look off, but we could always adjust it. I'm going to try to do this again. Yeah, it's 3D and he is drawing on top of 3D. Oh, well, that makes sense. I mean, what he's doing is still really impressive, but okay. That makes that makes me feel a little better. Because I was like, damn, this dude is like fucking legit. I might as well just quit. Which is really cool, like, you know, like making 3D and then kind of tracing over to make it look 2D. That could look really cool. Especially, you know, like keeps everything on model all the time, makes everything look really fluid. So now I'm going to see if I can make this convincingly look. Let's see. Go here. So, let's see. Put that one way over here just to leave it. Come on. There we go. Make some more of these. Man, that's a lot of freaking keyframes. This is definitely going to be the longest Attack on Titan scene I've ever done. And the longest one I've done to date was Levi attacking the Beast Titan. That one took forever. Oh, so long. Double Vendetta, he said, yeah, my YouTube tag is long. You know me, though. Skype convo about my fighting game ring any bell? Double Vendetta. Skype convo. Yeah. Your name sounds really familiar. I just feel like we haven't talked in like 1,000 years, so my memory is garbage. I know we talked, yeah, we did talk about the game, but you didn't hire me, correct? Because I was working on another game where a guy did hire me. Like I worked on his game for a little while. Just jog my memory because I'm garbage. Sunil said, how do you edit your animation in After Effects or Premiere? Well, I won't show you today, but I mean, I'm gonna eventually put everything that I'm working on here on After Effects, so you will see it if you check out if you check out my streams. But basically, once I finish everything in Photoshop, like when I've completed doing the outlining, the coloring, the shading, everything, I import everything into, I import everything into After Effects as its own, usually, what is it called? MOV layer or video. So like this one would be one video, right? Just him doing his thing here. And then another video would be just like the smoke here, just like moving, being as fluid as possible. Probably another video of this smoke over here because they're going to do their own thing, and then another video of her clothes just like moving in the wind, a loop. Another video of rubble. Just every little thing has its own video. So then I put it in Photoshop or After Effects, and I just put it all together. That's really all it is, just combining it all together, adding a lens flare, which is what I'm going to add here. I might do a 3D background. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to have to go online and see if I can find any free 3D building models that look like Attack on Titan, because I'm definitely not going to do it myself. And then, but I will tweak it. I will make it look like a painting, like an anime. And then, that's basically it. And then, of course, I'll probably add some more atmospheric touches to it. So I might even make it rain, because why not, right? Oh, and add clouds, maybe some clouds. I don't know. Maybe have the clouds move just for added sexiness. Devil Vendetta, you said, which I believe is the same technique Project Blue team uses for the Blaze Blue sprites. Yet, correct. Money. Okay. That's what I thought. Sorry, I wasn't sure. So, but I do remember you, yes. But it's been a while, right? Like 3 or 4 years? And again, to all the people that are watching, I have 2 links below. One is to my Patreon. The other one is to my Streamlabs. Any amount that you can donate would be appreciated. It's my hope to do this weekly. Hell, daily would be freaking amazing if I can make it work. So I need your support to make that happen. Thank you. So I need to change this here, actually. Because... his butt is not looking good right now. That is a sloppy looking butt. $8 months or so? Oh, Jesus. It's only been 8 months? Wow. Yeah, please show the editing in the next stream. Also, show how you make the 3D buildings look like 2D. I'm going to have to remind myself how to do that part. It was, if I remember right, I used SketchUp or Maya. I think I used SketchUp. And you basically just download a building, and then you find the angle that you want. You take a picture of it, which I think you can do in SketchUp, and then you import that into Photoshop. And now that you have a picture of the building that you want, you convert it to look like a painting. So that's when you start, digitally painting over it to make it look more like a painting, if I remember right. But next stream, I can probably show some stuff that I've already done in After Effects, but this is not going to be ready by next stream, especially since I want to kind of stream this entire thing so people can just see what I'm doing in its entirety. So honestly, we're probably not going to see After Effects for a little while. If I'm working on this for a bit, it'll probably be a week or two. But I'll open up After Effects in a future stream. Do Vendetta, you said some folks read snobs consider it cheating, but it leads to some of the cleanest lines in high-res 2D work possible. Yeah, I've always hated the whole it's cheating. It's cheating if you're taking somebody else's work without their permission and tracing it, which I've seen people do. But if you made the work yourself, or if the whole idea is to make a production look good, then that's a very good technique to use. It's almost like an ego thing. Oh, if you didn't know how to do that from memory, then you're somehow a lesser artist. That's silly. I mean, if I knew 3D animation, I'd probably try it. Man, this guy's Hulk smashing everything right now, isn't he? So, one of the difficult parts of animation, especially with fights and this kind of stuff, is putting weight behind attacks. Like there's really an impact. And again, I'm going to have to go back and make sure everything's on scale. So I have a feeling I'm going to have to... I'm pretty sure his body's being condensed like fucking crazy right now, but whatever. Yeah, it definitely is. Your fingers don't bleed. Oh my god, yes. Struggling with the same thing. Or 3D models. So have you started working on your game? Are you making it 3D instead? Because I can definitely tell you that as much as 2D looks cool, if you can find some people to do it for 3D, I would probably do that. It just comes out looking so much better. Hey Gosley, it has been a while. Conveying impact within a few frames, especially without very expensive distortion tech, is effing hard. Yeah, it can be. It's just, I don't know. It's kind of like about like Rumble, techniques, like making sure that the ground shakes or something shakes. Dragon Ball Z does that pretty good when they're doing good animation. I'm gonna do the best I can to make that thing here. Like right here, I want it to look like he's not struggling, but what he's grabbing is a little bit heavier. So I might have his arm be a little bit lower, maybe like down here. Kind of like when you're at the gym and you see those guys using momentum to lift something that would be a little bit too heavy on their own. You know, so right here is where he's trying to gain that momentum. So his arm, you know, shoulders using his shoulder has a lot of the weight right now. So if it's kind of heavy, his arm would be lower. And then at the last second, he'll have that momentum to just like chuck whatever the fuck he has in his hand. Yeah. Do you know the way of true animation? If you mean rotoscoping and taking others' ideas, then yes, I do. Oh, Apunu, hey, what's up? It's always been 3D. I just wanted you to do our OVA and maybe cutscenes. That's right. Like I told you, man, my memory is garbage, especially with that kind of stuff. I mean, I still like to do it. In fact, if you still need somebody, it's a good thing that you waited, because I've been practicing a lot more. So what I can do now is so much better than what I could have done a year ago. Is that what it looks like? Are you animating chapter 101 at the minute? Yes, I am. Well, not the whole chapter. Let me get this clear. Unless I'm like making some serious YouTube dough, I'm never going to animate an entire chapter again. Kakashi vs. Sasuke was my only one, with Obito's reveal being a second. But oh my god, it is so painfully annoying to do an entire chapter. The running chicken said, to give it some more feeling of weight, did you try to add some frames into the swinging motion? You know what? I am going to do that. For like right here, I want to add some more frames to it. And then probably right here too, just to see what it looks like, you know? But I think it usually looks better when you like, not to add too much, because then he goes too slow. Like right here, I still feel like there needs to be some more feeling of impact here. So, of course, it's also going to help when I am shading it and doing the final like inking, because he has a lot of muscle exposure, and every time your muscle gets tense, you see it. So I'm going to have to show that, which is going to be shown when he hits the ground. This scene is looking great, by the way. Thank you so much, man. Cal said, if I watch this, can I learn to animate without being able to draw? Well, I mean, you could animate stick figures, you know. I know that sounds... You can learn how to animate without drawing, without knowing how to draw. Like I said, you can draw stick figures, but you should try to learn to draw a little. I mean, you can learn. Some people might have a preference to drawing, but if you want to learn to draw, you can learn. You know, I had to teach myself how to do all this stuff. You know, I wasn't just like, wasn't just born knowing how to do this stuff. Like everything I'm doing now, at some point, I got so discouraged because I didn't know how to do it. Kakashi vs Sasuke is a good example. We stopped for 3 months because I got so discouraged because I was like, man, my stuff sucks. This stuff is garbage. What am I even doing? Like, who's gonna like this? So it looks good. Punches the ground like a bitch. Boo. Bruno, you said, do you do cleanup and coloring in Clip? I haven't used Clip Studio Paint in a couple of months. It's really good. I like it a lot, but I feel like I'll start learning it, get used to it, and then I'll stop, and I'll just forget everything about the program. And with Photoshop, it's just so easy for me to do everything that I just continue using Photoshop. So now I do inking and all that stuff in Photoshop. Nick, if you're ever looking for voice work again, let me know. Do you yeah, sure man. Do you have a demo reel for your voice, just so I kind of know like what you sound like? What I'd like to do, if I can get enough money here, I would really like to animate maybe chapter 102, not the whole thing, but I don't know if maybe there's some more fighting, but in chapter 101, since there's more fighting, that might be better to do, even though it would take a long time to animate. But yeah, if I can get enough money, I'd definitely like to animate a page, like showing, like right now. Okay, so spoilers are coming up for Attack on Titan here. This girl here is going to transform, as we, so I would really like to animate her transforming into a Titan, just kind of showing, the bone being made, the ligaments and all that stuff just showing up. I would really like to animate that. That would take so long to do, but it would look so cool. When Sunil, sorry, you said when will your next stream? When will you do your next stream? Sorry, please let it be soon. Honestly, I want my next stream to be tomorrow. My Twitter is smiten what's that called? _, the slash that touches the floor, 4TW. I'm going to post when I'm going to do my my streams on there. Also, if you're a patron of mine, I put it on Patreon as well. So, Do Vendetta, you said, but can I shoot you some quick clips if you like? Sure, man. Go ahead. Yeah, just send it to me privately and on YouTube. I'll check it out when I'm free. Underscore, yes. I should probably put that below my Twitter. I'm so bad with Twitter. I'm an old man, you know. So I still have to get used to Twitter and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'll put that on the stream later and on the next stream. His butt is just getting saggier and saggier every time I draw it. Like, what is that? And thank you to everyone who's, you know, had just got here. I really appreciate it. I'm just currently I'm animating a scene from Attack on Titan, chapter 101. I think it's like towards the beginning of the chapter, where Eren's Titan is attacking a place. I'm already saying spoilers, but maybe I'll just keep that vague so there's something, so people don't get too mad at me. So I'm going to have it loop on here. So have him go down here a little. Oh, save, yes. Oh, there you go. Thanks, Vendetta. Speaking of wins in game picking up again, I'll be honest, I don't think it is. I wanted to make it work. I made what's it called? I crowdfunded it. I tried to crowdfund it. You know, I tried to do everything I could to get a budget for it. I talked to Frederator, you know, the people who make Adventure Time, to see if they want to pick it up. They did not. My crowdfunding was very unsuccessful. Yeah, and I just wasn't. I tried Patreon as well, but that was not working as well. So I had to give up. It takes too long to do. I would love to. I would love to do it, but unfortunately I can't devote that time. I have to devote it to my day job. So, but if I can get this to work, so, you know, like if you guys can't contribute directly, you know, with Streamlabs or Patreon, then tell people about me, about what I'm doing. You know, show them my Twitter, show them my Reddit page. My Reddit has a lot of stuff in there, especially like new stuff. Because like all the new stuff I've been doing, like this one right here, isn't really made for YouTube, because it's seriously like a second or two long. So who wants to see a 2-second, you know, YouTube? So it's not very YouTube friendly. So I've just been putting it on Reddit, just so fans can watch, critique it. But it's so good. Thank you. If FT blows up for US, I'll push you for sure. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. And I really like the plot of In-Game. I had a whole, like my co-writer and I really worked on the plot to make sure that it came out looking good. You know, it was funny, interesting to watch, good character development. Cliches where cliches need to be, or make fun of them. And who knows? It might happen one day. Who knows? So here, kind of going off and doing my own thing here really quick, just to see if I can connect the dots. This is one of those things that you normally don't do in a professional environment because everything has a storyboard and, like, but that's not what I do. Double Vendetta, you said. Alongside that, assuming it does blow up in the IP, becomes super popular to the point where people want to see more of it, or full animation, you're my go-to for it at the very least. Studio lead. Dude, that would be freaking amazing. Thank you. You have no idea how much that means to me. I would gladly accept. So this needs to stay up because his body is still up, so his legs can't really go down the way I'm making them go down now. That just looks kind of jarring. So, I mean, this part I can put it down a little, but not as much as I did. That was too dramatic, too drastic. Maybe like that. There we go. So I've got 2 keyframes here, and I have to make some in-between frames, and I'm wondering how to do this correctly. We Are Mature says, how long have you been drawing and animating for? I started around 2008. Well, I did small animations in Flash when I was in high school, but that was a long time ago. It was just like for fun. I started like doing it as a career 2008. Around the time I was working at PBS as a production assistant, and I realized I didn't like it, so I quit and I tried to work on animation and slowly worked on it, but yeah. So about 10 years, by God, I'm old. Attackontitan says, dude, I just want you to know that I still, to this day, watch Naruto clips y'all did years ago. Those vids are godly. Thanks, dude. I really appreciate hearing that. Especially since when I go back and watch those, I cringe a little. I think about all the things like I would do different now. But back then, it really was just, it's kind of like what I'm doing now with Attack on Titan, just to see it animated before it's officially animated. But back then, there wasn't I was like one of the only people animating, so anything, even if it was the most unimpressive thing in the world, was so like, oh look, it's moving, that's cool. But now, I gotta step up the game. Gotta make it look at least a little like the show. No Vendetti said, which I honestly hope it does. Fatal Trigger ended universe are the first things in years that I've only again really felt the spark over. Screw you, voice to text. So we are mature. You are drawing the human body. Looks so effortless. You're really good. Hey, thanks, dude. It just seriously, it's just been like studying the human anatomy and seeing it from different perspectives. That's honestly it. When I first started, it was so annoying to try to draw a human body because I just didn't know what I was doing. It's really all about like knowing proportions, or like foreshortening, you know, like when something's looking at you, how much of like the forearm you're going to see, how much of the bicep you're going to see. And if you're starting out, please don't feel like you can't look at references or trace for that matter. Just trace. Just remember, you know, as you're tracing, keep an eye out what you're doing, how the body looks, how the proportions, you know, how long the body part is, how wide everything. Man, this stream is over 2 hours long. Wow. And if you guys, you know, like this stuff, subscribe, you know, share this. The link below, take a look, tell your friends, go on Twitter. Just help me out. You know, this is one of the reasons why I'm doing this live stream, and why I'm going to do future ones is I want people to see what I'm working on. I want them to be excited that I'm working on it, and I want them to help support me on this so I can do it more often. I would love to do this full time. It would be a dream come true. Let's see. So for the people that haven't been here, this is what I've been working on. It's not very long, and hopefully that's not too loud. So yeah, this is what I've done. I was basically, well, this is from chapter 100 towards the end, before or right when Reiner and Eren are talking, and when Reiner realizes that Eren's about to transform, and I just try to make it look like when Reiner and Berholt transformed. So all this stuff is very similar. Kind of did that on purpose. Also, gave me a chance to learn how to do the detail in the eyes, the way that they do it in the show, and little things like, you know, they always do these lines. Like almost every scene has these lines, no matter what. So I did that. The one before, yeah. So again, the lines down here, lines here. A lot of times they'll do like these soft shadings that you'll see here. Yeah, and they always have highlights. So, you know, highlight here, and then they have the base hair, and then they have the dark. Sometimes I have 4 of those. Some, like the eye right here is just a little bit darker than this dark right here. So but yeah, if everything went my way, I would do maybe a page of a chapter every month, and if it grows from there, like where I can actually have outside help. If I actually had outside help, I would probably hire another animator to help me get the stuff done faster. That would be the dream. And then, hell, I could continue in game. So now you said while creating a character, when you draw him, her at one angle and then draw at another angle, they don't look the same. How to improve in this? Well, if you mean kind of like this one, where like, you know, his back is towards us, but then I have him this way, where you can see, you know, this is the side right here, so this is part of his front, this is part of the back, and this is, you know, right in the middle. Then that's really just learning perspective of the human anatomy. Go online, see different poses that people have. I mean, there's books. I have a couple books that shows different poses of people, you know, just wearing minimal clothes so you can see the human body. And that's really it, just seeing how it works and then trying to match that together with using animation. If what I'm saying doesn't make sense, then just tell me and I'll try to rephrase it. Yeah, as Apunu said, study anatomy. Honestly, that's your best bet. I mean, you know, I'm still learning anatomy too. I'm not, you know, 100% on it. Sometimes I need to look and see what the human body looks like in a certain angle. I mean, some angles are extremely difficult too. This one's a little easier because he's just like from the side, maybe a, you know, tiny bit from the low end, but for the most part this is the side. But you know, when you have these different angles where, like, you know, here's the head, and then you've got like the torso, you know, the torso here, and you can see part of the lower body here, you know, and like that's when it becomes definitely more difficult. So it's like, what do you show, you know? Like, here's his huge ass fucking shoulder, and then you're not going to see much of his bicep, and then you're probably not going to see much of his forearm at all. Maybe you'll see his hand, you know, like, unless of course he's got like kind of got the thing in his hip, and again, like, you got to know how the arm looks touching the hip like that, and yeah, so, and then you see his feet, you know, so that kind of shit. That's when it gets difficult. That's yeah, foreshortening, it really is no joke. You know, where when you got a punch coming at you, you know. Then here's the person's head, all up in your biz, ears. So like shoulder, and you're just not gonna see much of his arm at all. Maybe you'll see a tiny bit of the forearm right here, maybe a tiny bit of the bicep, depending how swole they are. Besides that, you're just not gonna see much. So that's what you gotta learn. And that was one of my issues, is I was trying to figure out what the fuck do I do with his arm, you know. So, and of course, like how the human, like where this human stands, like if the arm is straight out like that, where's the chest going to be in proportion to that? Because the chest is not, you know, because he's leaning into it, right? So everything's going to be kind of going back a little bit, depending, of course, but you know what I mean. So it's just kind of learning what the human body, how it works together. Go away. So, but yeah, guys, I'm going to do another stream tomorrow. Earlier than this, I'm going to put my Twitter down there so everyone can kind of keep an eye out. But my Patreon and my Twitter is where I talk about like when I'm going to do it next, because I really don't know when I can stream. This all really depends when I'm free. But yeah, my Twitter is smiten_4tw. I've got my Patreon and my Streamlabs in the bottom there, so just please check it out. I would, any support, even $1 is appreciated. This is how I'm gonna make my dream come true of doing this full time. I've been streaming now for 2 hours and 16 minutes. Yeah, today, 2 hours and 16 minutes. So I most likely am going to do that most days. I mean, 2-hour animation really isn't that long. Right now I'm just kind of figuring out if I even like the way that this looks, because right now it looks fine. But one of the good things that I like to do is I like to sleep on it just to see how it looks, because I usually find better ways to do it. Like towards the end there, especially towards the end here, it's getting a little sloppy, because like this is how he's supposed to look, lean, and towards the end here he's way too muscular. So I'm gonna have to go back tomorrow and just kind of work on it a little bit. But like up to here I really like it. It's towards here is when it starts getting a little goofy. Maybe it's a saggy butt. Fucking saggy butt. Yeah. But anyways, guys, I'm going to head out now. So thank you so much. Yeah, if you like this, subscribe, and if you want to support me on Patreon or Streamlabs, the links are below. And expect me to do a stream tomorrow. So just keep an eye out on my Twitter. All right. Any more questions that you guys might have for me before I take off? Here's another one I did. I don't know if I showed this one. Let me just do that again. Yeah, this one right here took me the longest, just because everything required like its own amount of time. His hair, and you can't even tell his hair very much there, but like all the strands, especially like towards in the bottom where you can't see, I did. So, and then the Beast Titan, I also made him move. The background, everything. It's so background painting. Yeah, with this thing that I'm doing, I kind of chose to do it because I can stream and kind of show a little bit of everything that I do in an animation. Like this one in particular didn't require too much of background painting, because it's just like a over forecast, or it's a cloudy day and the sun is penetrating a little bit. But for this guy, I'm most likely going to put some 3D buildings, make them look 2D here. Maybe I'll at least try and see if it looks good. It might not look good, but I'll try. So, and then I'll have to paint all this and make it look detailed, like an anime, like Attackontitan. So you should animate time lapses. It's a good idea. I guess one of the good things about streaming is that YouTube saves everything. So, I can make a time lapse of all of this, and that actually would be a cool idea, to just do like a time lapse of this whole scene from start to finish, and just have it be like 5 minutes long. So good idea. I think I'll do that. But sorry, you said what time tomorrow? What time tomorrow? I live in the East Coast, so I would say maybe 9 or 10 at night. But keep an eye out on my Twitter. It might be earlier than that. Actually, it might be way earlier than that. It really depends. I'll try to make streams like scheduled if I can get enough support on Patreon or Streamlabs. It'd be great if I could do this daily for a couple hours. Hell, I might even expand this and start like animate like watching some videos, like in between the animation, because you can't animate fully for like 8 hours. That's insane and impossible. So I need to break it up with something. So if I can just like break it up, watch a video with you guys, that'd be cool. It's 12:50 midnight here. I'm in Florida. So, all right, guys. So I will see y'all tomorrow. Have a good night.